this video, I'm going to be talking about my new company and what I'm trying to do with it. In my last video, I talked about the best investment I've ever made. So back in January, I started Rise Media LLC. The idea behind it is to grow my personal brand. I'm growing into more public speaking, more coaching, and doing more of these videos. So I wanted something that kind of represented this new personal brand and the direction that it was going. About the middle of last year, I decided to stop working on the printery, and which is basically printing projects for other companies and organizations. Just recently, we closed down that website so that I could further focus on my personal brand. I'm going to be writing more. I'm going to be investing my time more into things that I really love. Coaching, I really love helping entrepreneurs really kind of dial in their processes, their systems, their niche, what they're struggling with, and really helping them mitigate fears and how to overcome them. I just kind of fell in love with this idea of resilience and what it means for people and how what I've been through can help others. Deciding to do that though was really hard because I had to face my own fears. What if this doesn't work out? What if other people don't really care to hire me to help them with their small businesses, to overcome some of my own fears, right? And so with that, I realized that there is something to be, thinking about here. What are these fears? The fears of success, the fears of failing, the fears of what other people think of us, and all these things. I decided to write my next book about that. And so my goal is to start documenting that process and what that's like for me. Every day my goal is to get up, and by 6:30 I would be writing. And the idea is to catch that, early morning creative flow where there's nothing sort of bothering me or tugging away at me. And so for 30 minutes, my goal is to meet with someone on FocusMate and write my 250 words. And so the first draft is obviously very crappy, but with that, my goal is to just research this idea, this process. It may lead to something completely different. I realize that books come through us. We don't force them to be what we want them to be. They kind of come through us and help us understand things. And so for me, writing has been this way of understanding what I'm writing about. And in this scenario, it's about mitigating fears and understanding them and where they come from and how we can dance and work with them, like Seth Godin likes to say, how we can use fear to really help us in our journey of life, right? In our creative endeavors. And so, that idea really resonates with me because I've had to deal with so many of those fears growing up, and so many of those fears still while I'm trying to build a new business. And so alongside all of you, I'm sure all of you are creatives and small business owners who are, doing something on the side or working on something or have the desire to start something. My goal is to document sort of this next phase of my life as I sort of get away from the printing industry, the graphic design industry, although those things that I love, and I will be dabbling back and forth with them, is to try to challenge myself by making an investment in YouTube and sort of going in on that and creating videos. And for me, I think it's exciting to start documenting this stuff and sort of talk about it naturally so that you guys know what I'm working on. And the other thing is to grow my YouTube channel, right? So if you haven't yet, please share or subscribe. If you haven't yet, please hit that little bell next to the little subscribe button. I know this is what every YouTuber does. So I'm out here, I'm trying to grow this channel because I feel so much power within it. I've also, back in November or so, I completely stopped using Instagram and Facebook to promote my work and things. I've dabbled back and forth in it a little bit, but I've removed them from my phone so that I am not constantly pulled away by this distraction. And I will get into why I don't use Instagram anymore on a later video, so stay tuned for that. As I'm helping others grow their small businesses, I'm also trying to grow my own. And so that's my personal brand, whether I'm coaching, public speaking, or merely sharing this stuff or writing. That's the kind of direction that I really want to go with my life, because I realize that those things really just bring me the most joy. Like when I am in front of an audience of people, whether they're youth or an organization or a business, I always tell this to my wife, I practically black out and something else takes over. And I feel this rush of excitement and fulfillment. And so that is something I want to continually do with my life. And so I recently hired a virtual assistant that will help me sort of get those things a little bit more organized and meaningful about who we reach out to and who reaches out to us, so that we can go and do more speaking engagements and trainings, so that I can speak to people and organizations about the importance of, this huge wave of refugees that are going to be coming into our communities, and how to hire them, how to respectfully use their resources and what they're already good at, and embed them within our communities. And so I think that's a powerful way to spend my time when I go out and speak. So not only do I share my story of being a refugee, I also talk about the importance of how do refugees integrate into our communities. How do we take diversity and inclusion to like a level of true awareness? And by doing that, I get more joy out of my life, right? I pull more of my purpose out of myself. And though sometimes that is terrifying, to put myself out there and to constantly get rejected by, organizations, I am still trying to work on all of those things, like sales, like marketing myself, like my website. And so these are all things that I still struggle with. And so I think documenting them as I get better, and alongside that, help other people, I think that brings me the most joy, because I get to teach, and that's another thing that I love doing. And I didn't realize I loved doing all these things until I started doing them just kind of on the side. And I realized, I really want to lean into that. Writing has become a part of my life. Working out has become a part of my life. Running, all these things. And I really try to set myself up with systems that can help me create these outcomes that I want, right? So I kind of veered away from goals at one point in life, and I started focusing more on outcomes and systems. So systems can really help create those outcomes that we want. So a system is, for example, working out every day will keep me healthy and my blood flow and my heart pumping, all those good things. Well, the outcome is I want a healthy body, I want a healthy mind. And so you need to create a system to create that outcome. And so if you take that and apply it to everything else in your life, I think you can have a very healthy outcome and a very healthy system that can, create both of those things for you. And then it's just the adherence to all those things, right? Which is where accountability comes in, which is where, other people who can help you getting away from the toxic things that we do. Those have been really helpful for me. If you like this video, please share it with a friend, share it with a family member. On that note, check out some of my other videos here and here, and I would love to see you at the next one. Take care. Peace.